Music artist JT the Human, born in Germany but making music out of Delaware, is joining us today on the Queens of Media show. Welcome, JT the Human.
Hey guys, happy to be here.
How are you?
I'm doing well. It's nice. It's hot in Delaware. Not too hot though. Not as hot as it was in Texas, so I like that.
Yeah, like not like Texas, right?
Yeah, no, not like Texas. I think it's like 94 today. So
Okay, okay.
yeah,
Little breeze, maybe just a
yeah,
little.
yeah. It's been. This is like the hottest it's been all summer though. So
Okay, I got it. Well, as we mentioned, you're a music artist, of course, and you have a new album out. It's titled Mood Swing, and it comes out, actually, it drops on June 20th. Tell
yes,
us about, tell us about the musical vibe, including the already released singles, which is Universe and Seasons. Tell us about it.
yeah. So it's I would say that it's like hip hop R&B. A lot of the production, so the instrumentation on the album was inspired by like city pop, which is kind of like a Japanese take on R&B. And so everything kind of will have a I would say like 70s-esque feel, also kind of like a retro anime-esque feel. And that was what I set out for with the first couple of songs. Like Seasons of the Universe are a great example of that. They both have very melodic, kind of sweet
Yes.
beats, mixed in with that kind of like nice 808s and things like that. So yeah, so the whole album should feel cohesive. I have made albums in the past. This is, in my opinion, the most cohesive thing I've made. So everything should feel like it belongs together, and it should flow together, I think, nicely.
Okay. Yeah, you're very gifted at music. Was it something you always wanted to follow, even as a young child?
Um, I would say yes. I didn't really have a lot of belief in myself to make music.
Uh,
I enjoyed like singing around the house and stuff. It wasn't until about high school. I had some friends that would make music, and I did it with them. They actually didn't really pursue it as much as I did. But if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have ever like started recording stuff and starting that journey, because it is a journey. You kind of have to record music, put it out so you can see what it's like, and then kind of keep like looking at yourself to kind of grow and change over the years.
and you mentioned, as far as the melodies of this particular piece of work and, it being cohesive, do you feel like your previous, musical works led up to this moment, like it matured into the sound and the album that you have now?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I actually think that every time you make a piece of art or anything, the next thing you do always has a little bit of the last thing
Mhm.
in it. I kind of think that for every album I put out, I can always trace a song on the previous album that I think really like pointed at what I was going to do. So like if I went back to Reboot, which was the last album I put out, I would think of More Than a Second and Saw You, in my opinion, or two, and Circle are three songs that I think really shaped what I wanted to do with this album. Like I was like, yeah, I want some of that, and some of the producers from the last album are on this album to kind of even speak to that more.
And who are some of the producers, if you want to go ahead and make mention of some of the producers?
So I have one of my good friends, Trey, Trey Givens. I think he goes by Trey the Hitmaker on Instagram, but he was on both projects. On Seasons, you hear the tag Mixtape Soul. This is a guy out of Korea. He also made, I believe, two of the songs on Reboot. So yeah, like when I find a person who I think makes like quality stuff, I want to keep working with them if I can.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, nice. Kind of has that universal appeal to it as well. Like, yeah, definitely. And if you could collaborate with any artist,
Okay.
who would it be and why?
Well, that's a good one. It's tough. There's a lot of artists that I like, but collabing I always think is something that I want to be very natural and for it to feel good. Let me see. I would take anybody, but I think I would love to collaborate with like from like a producer standpoint. I think Pharrell. I think that they would
Yeah, I
make.
can see
I would
that.
love to get on like a Pharrell beat.
Yeah.
K Tronada. I would love to be on a K Tronada beat. Artists that I would love to, in terms of like rappers, I'd love Amine and Jid. I think both those guys, we could complement each other. And then I guess like singing wise, I would love to work with maybe like Janelle Monáe. Her There's an artist named Orion's Son I really like. So I take influence from a lot of places, And collaborating is one of the, I think, most fun things you can do as an artist. I got to collaborate with some friends on this project, and every time it's just great. I feel like it's like working out with somebody. It almost everything kind of gets a little bit easier
Yeah.
when you see someone else putting in that same kind of energy, and you can kind of watch their process, and you learn so much just from watching other people too. So it's really valuable to work with other artists.
You pick some good ones.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Yes, spoke it out into existence. Yeah. So any plans to promote your album this summer? Is there like a release party or something you're gonna do?
There isn't a release party in the works yet. I'm always trying to look to do more stuff. This is the first time I've like really like dabbled with like using the promotion on TikTok and Instagram, and that's kind of been it's been a bit successful. I feel like I've reached a couple more fans, people who don't know me, who finally get to hear the music. But yeah, that's the next big step is really trying to figure out how to take advantage of the marketing in a way that is good, but also feels like something you can build upon. That's probably the biggest challenge for me because it's a very predatory thing too. Like if I put out any music, I would say 10 to 20 like scam artists will message you and be like, hey, like, let's do this, let's do that. Let me
Yeah.
like do this. And all that kind of translates to is them being like, hey, if you send me this amount of money, I'll put it on some whatever playlist and get you streams or whatever. But it's a lot of that is bots and not like actual like marketing and things like that. So it's kind of treacherous. I want to be very careful about how I
Definitely.
go in. Yeah. If I were still in Texas, I think definitely we'd be having a release party. Us being in Delaware, it's like so far away. And then I made the music in Chicago. So I kind of feel like my camp is all divided and split up. So yeah, so not no release party yet, but I would like to do something, some sort of
Maybe
like
something
group.
virtual, maybe
Yeah, yeah, that could be a
have
good
a
idea. I did
Texas
that.
and everybody can just kind of join in,
Be involved in.
Yeah,
kind of
that's a
just
good idea.
vibe
Yeah,
to it,
I did think about that. Yeah.
Yeah. And you mentioned the different places, JT, the human. You mentioned Delaware, of course, where you're currently residing, and then you mentioned Chicago, where you made the album, and then you have Texas ties, of course. Are any of those places inspiration for, I would imagine they're inspiration for your music, or how do you merge like the locales of where you've been in your music?
I would say I definitely like in the music, if I claim any place, I feel like I claim Houston. I feel very proud to be from Houston. Um, and I mean I love like Houston artists, like obviously like Megan Thee Stallion and Zero and
Yeah.
just people from Houston I've always like want to support. So that's what I really like feel most strongly in. Chicago is actually a place where I have a lot of great friends who live there, and I would love to move there at some point. That's up in the air. We don't know though, 'cause it's so cold. God, it's so cold in Chicago. If it wasn't cold, I feel like we'd already be there. But the music
Yeah.
scene in Chicago is like great. Like if I were in Chicago right now, I would absolutely be having like a music listening party or something. Just because it feels almost like there's more. I don't want to say more opportunity, but there's so many like creatives who are out there. Like I think you could throw a
Building it.
dart.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could throw a dart and hit like like I joke with my friend, I was like, I could go outside and scream and probably find like 10 rappers and 10 producers in Chicago. So yeah, so that's kind of I feel very connected to Chicago, but Houston is what I would claim. I'm probably gonna claim Houston the whole time. I just love it. I think there's just too much great music out of Houston, Beyonce
Oh
too.
yeah.
Like
Oh
that
yeah.
that's just it feels like I would never want to give it up.
It feels like, and then, I'm thinking like, because you're in Delaware, and I don't really know of an artist out of Delaware. I'm pretty sure they're artists, but I don't know right off. But I would think that you can literally put Delaware on the map.
Yeah.
Like, I know you want to go to other places, but
Yeah.
while you're there, you can
Yeah.
put Delaware on the map. How about that?
Yeah, I would love to do that. Yeah. I would
Yeah. Yeah.
if I can find anywhere to perform around here, I'm gonna be on it.
Yeah.
So
I want to know, like JT the human, describe your sound musically. Like, what is your sound?
There's a joke that in high school that I think I can't remember it got popular. So I always every time someone asks me that I always say it. I think it was like used to describe Drake or Childish Gambino, but they started calling them like singing ass rappers, and that's what I would describe myself as.
Yeah.
I really like singing. I almost feel like if I just say rapper, that doesn't really cover what I like to get into.
It does. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but then I also really like rapping. So that's yeah. I always say like singing ass rapper or like pop rapper. Because I'm really interested in like working with melodies and trying to find different ways to use my voice. I tried to do that a couple times on Mood Swing, and So yeah, so but if I had to describe the sound, I would say I hear neo soul a lot, but I don't really know what that
Mhm.
means.
Mhm. Yeah,
Like I guess like so
yeah.
I'd say soulful R&B with like a little bit of backpack style hip hop in there. Occasionally it gets aggressive, but really not that much.
Right, right.
Gotta be true to your, gotta be true
Yeah.
to your art. Now,
Yeah.
I like it,
Yeah.
the singles, Universe and Seasons. It has a real nice vibe, especially with summer being here.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really love the vibe and sound of your songs and your album. And yeah, I definitely. And with that being said, what's next for you? I know this album is dropping tomorrow, and you mentioned just promoting the material, but what's next for you musically in
Yeah, you're
the album?
I was gonna say you're right on the money with it sounding like summer. That was 100% intentional. I
Oh,
want the whole
yeah.
album to be a summer album. We chose tomorrow as the date to drop it. One, because Fridays are usually the day when you drop new music and projects. But then summer is officially starting on Saturday.
Mhm.
21st is the summer solstice. And today is Juneteenth, so it just felt like a great
Oh,
day to
yeah.
put out the music. But what's next for me? So yeah, like I'm gonna keep promoting this album. I have to promote it aggressively on TikTok and everywhere I can. We're
Yeah.
making like little clips and videos. We don't have a huge budget to do music videos, but we shot some of the footage that if you I don't know if you've seen that trailer, but the trailer for the album, that was
Yeah.
just us walking around Chicago. So we're gonna put out some more clips of that, maybe some behind the scenes footage from when we recorded the album, and then just keep pushing that. And then this whole project felt really good in terms of this is the first time that because I recorded it in Chicago at a studio called Friends of Friends Recording.
Yeah.
And this is definitely, I think, the most professional I've got. This is the closest I've gotten to like to really, really, working in a really professional space. This guy was he's very talented, Brock Mende. And so I want to work with him again. So
Yeah.
I feel like knowing that, kind of having those things in place, I would like to get back to, writing almost as soon as possible. I took a little bit of a break after the last one because we, moved across the country, but I think now I just want to kind of lock in. I want to keep making music. It would be nice if I could have another project out in like a year and a half or 2 years. Um, but I know that once I do get everything written and recorded, I know I'm going right back to Brock in Chicago.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And speaking of Juneteenth, how are you celebrating today?
Yeah.
Are you performing anywhere?
No, not today. It's been a busy week for me because we got the album coming out tomorrow. And then yesterday was Linda, my wife's birthday, so we're doing that. And then our 9-year anniversary is on Sunday, so it's a jam packed weekend. We're gonna go into Philadelphia, I think, tomorrow to celebrate everything.
Everything.
And then
Yeah.
we were out. Yeah, we were out last night. But yeah, to celebrate Juneteenth, I'll probably just relax, maybe have some reverence, pay attention to what's happening in the news,
Yeah.
see some of that, and yeah, just be grateful.
Well, happy birthday, Linda, and happy anniversary to you
Yeah,
guys coming up. Yeah.
Well,
definitely.
thank you.
And
Welcome.
and before we end our conversation, this wonderful conversation, I want if you can complete this following sentence for us. Music to me does.
It frees me.
Ah,
Yeah, yeah. Have you guys seen Sinners, right?
yes. No, I haven't.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of
Oh,
some
you
other.
have?
My husband
Okay.
has no Bruno. No.
Okay, no spoilers. But if you do ever watch it, I would say if you ask me what that movie was about, I would say it's about music and being free. And
Yeah.
I think that I feel very much like that. Like I feel the freest ever when I'm one making music and two performing it, which is why I definitely want to perform some of these songs.
I like that, because when I sing, I feel free, so I can relate to
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah,
Definitely.
I like that answer. Good
Definitely.
answer.
yeah,
Definitely
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
creatives get
Yeah.
that and along with what you mentioned in singing, like the
And I
ability.
think singing is in the family.
Yeah.
yes, absolutely. It's all genetic. It's all
Oh,
hereditary.
yeah.
And it's good that we exist in our happy places, and I'm glad that you're doing so. And for our viewers who will watch this interview, we want to give a little fun fact. So, JT the Human, of course, is a phenomenal music artist, but a little fun fact is he's also related to us as well. So he is our cousin, and
Yeah,
aside from being our cousin, he's a person, he's a man, he's going after what he loves to do. And we wanted to support you in that. We just love as creatives ourselves, we love it. And we just wanted to support you and your music and to, say keep going, keep doing what you love to do. And you responded just a few minutes ago that you feel free in it. Just keep doing it, keep making music. And the music is obviously there for other people to enjoy as well, which brings me to asking you, where can people get your album? Like we know it drops tomorrow on June 20th, but where can people purchase, listen to stream your album?
Yeah.
Your album
It's
loosely.
anywhere you can stream music. So it's going to be on Apple Music, Spotify, on YouTube. It's on Tidal if anybody uses that. It's on TikTok. So if you make videos on TikTok, you can use all the songs on the album. Same thing with Instagram. It goes everywhere.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Newman, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
spending the afternoon with us and speaking with the Twins of Media.
No, thank you guys. This was lovely.